Welcome to this section of the video which deals with the processes and policies for academic integrity. We recognize that even top academics get this wrong occasionally. And in order to maintain that reputation that I was talking about in the introduction, we have to have ways of dealing fairly and objectively, but firmly, with occasions when our academic integrity is breached by the students. So what this section will do will explain to you very clearly what those processes are for when something goes wrong. So this is the section where we explain what we call the Academic Honesty Declaration. So first of all, what is the Academic Honesty Declaration? This is the contract that you make with us before every class that you take, which is you telling us that you're going to help us to preserve that reputation of the university through academic integrity. So that's the reason why we have that in the class. Now, this declaration contains several elements. The first of it, part of those elements, is where you tell us that you're going to preserve academic integrity in three key areas. Plagiarism, that you're not going to copy the work of others without telling us about it. Collusion, where you're not going to work with another student to produce the same work that isn't actually yours. And the fabrication of data. So in parts of your course where you're presenting data, that you will actually use genuine data and not use data that you've made up yourself. So those are the three key elements of the academic integrity part of the declaration. There are, however, two other important areas. The first of these is to do with the resubmission of work, and you'll want to know what happens and what you should do when you want to resubmit work that you've already submitted to another part of your classrooms. And here there's a very important principle, and that principle is that if you've already submitted work for credit, in other words, it's been assessed and it's been graded, then you cannot submit that work again without recognizing the fact that it's already been submitted. And how you recognize it is you quote it and you reference it in the same way that you would quote and reference any other work that's been written somewhere else. And the final part of the declaration is about excessive quotations. What we mean by that is the other challenge you're faced with as a student is that you have to submit original work, which means that most of your work has to be written by you, even if you have correctly followed our citation and referencing guidelines. There is a limit to how much you can quote from other people in your work so that your work is original. I think you'll appreciate that. And there are percentages, which you'll see on the screen now, that we apply as a guide for you to show you how much of your work in total can be quoted from other sources and how much of it needs to be your own original work written in your own words.